Hey everyone and welcome. In this video we look at a shameful, in my opinion, statement by the head of counter-terrorism Met Police Assistant Commissioner Neil Basu.
And I do believe that we have rotten politics, and I'm not using that as an exaggeration.
Saying we should stay alert over the Reading terrorist and the threat to the public. How about you do your jobs? Then we wouldn't need to, Mr. Police Officer. Just a thought. If you don't know who Neil Basu is as well, everyone, he's the cop who says that BLM have a right to be angry, in this country that is, so a violence apologist. He's also the man that says from his position of power that the cops should stand up to racism. Well, Neil, they already do, and you know this, which makes that statement absolutely ridiculous and completely political, in my opinion. Now, the story is in the Express and it's titled, Reading Terror Attack, Warning to British Public After Knife Rampage, Be Alert. The head of counter-terrorism policing Metropolitan Police Assistant Commissioner Neil Basu has said there is no evidence to suggest anyone is at risk in public spaces. Tell that to the people from yesterday, but urge people to be alert following the terrorist attack in Reading. Now, before we go into the actual article, let's have a quick watch of what he said.
The pandemic has made very strange territory of our familiar places, and I appreciate the concern this attack will obviously cause. But let me be clear. There is no specific intelligence to suggest anyone attending crowded places is at risk. But I would ask the public, please continue in your daily lives, but be alert, not alarmed when you are out in public. If you see anything suspicious, anything at all that makes you feel suspicious, then please report it. Please remain vigilant.
Now, does that not feel like round the houses version of you're on your own, knobheads? It really feels like that to me. Let's read the article. 3 people were killed and 3 others were seriously injured in the stabbings which took place at 7 p.m. on Saturday in Forbury Gardens. A 25-year-old man from Reading was arrested at the scene on suspicion of murder and is currently in custody. In a statement, Mr. Basu said, "Let me be clear that there is no specific intelligence to suggest anyone else attending crowded places is at risk." Have you noticed how they put that one in because of the protest? That's going to be aimed at the protest. That's him saying, go right ahead and protest, even though we got terrorism. Is it not? So I would ask the public to continue in your daily lives, but to be alert, not alarmed. Not alarmed. You're not allowed to be alarmed. Just be alert when you are in public places. This man needs to do his job, does he not? Let me just say as well, the killer, the terrorist, was known to his squad before he did the terrorist act. I'm just putting that out there. He said, from our inquiries undertaken so far, officers have found nothing to suggest that there was anyone else involved in this attack, and presently we're not looking for anyone else in relation to the incident. However, counter-terrorism detectives work closely with the security services and will work closely with Thames Valley major crime colleagues and will continue to make enquiries to ensure that that is the case. Although the motivation for this horrific act is far from certain, counter-terrorism policing have taken responsibility for leading the investigation. Now, I don't know how true this is, but I heard from people in the area that he actually started shouting before he attacked. Now, make of that information as you will, and do please take that with a pinch of salt. There's no confirmed of that, but it does sound very familiar, does it not? Although the motivation for this horrific act is far from certain, counter-terrorism policing have taken responsibility for leading the investigation. However, we're clear that it was not associated in any way with the Black Lives Matter protest which took place peacefully earlier in the day. I would like to say, how would they possibly know that within this time frame? They wouldn't, would they? That's an assumption by a police officer. An assumption. Mr. Basu also praised the bravery of police officers and members of the public at the scene. He said, "This was an atrocity. My deepest sympathies go out to the families who will be mourning loved ones today after this horrific act and to anyone who has been affected by it." I'm sure the people don't want your deepest sympathies. They want you to do your job and stop this from happening. That would be a nice start, would it not? We're working with the coroner to formally identify all those who've died and to inform and support their relatives. And my heart goes out to every single family member that have lost a loved one on this. This is absolutely disgusting again. How much more do we have to put up with is all I want to know. I'd like to praise the actions of Thames Valley police colleagues who responded immediately and they detained the attacker nearby, unarmed and incredibly brave. Unarmed? They've got tasers and a baton and pepper spray, have they not? That's not unarmed. Mr. Police Officer. I also want to pay tribute to the bravery of members of the public who provided emergency first aid at the scene. Thames Valley Police said on Sunday morning that the attack is being treated as terrorism and that counter-terrorism police would now be taking over the investigation. Chief Constable John Campbell of Thames Valley said, "Incidents of this nature are very rare." Really? Very rare? Are they really? They don't seem to be very rare to me. Although I know that will be of little comfort to those involved and understand the concern that this incident will have caused amongst our local community. He was known to security services. We will be working closely with our partners over the coming days and weeks to support the Reading community during this time, as well as with Counter-Terror Police South East as they progress their investigation. Prime Minister Boris Johnson said he is appalled and sickened by that people should lose their lives in this way, and our thoughts are very much with the family and the friends of the victims today. I've obviously talked to the Chief Constable at Thames Valley, thanked him and his officers for their bravery in tackling the suspect. They should have got him before he did anything. We need to really seriously consider reforming the police service to stop this happening before they murder people, not after. What's the point in a police service that doesn't stop crime? Sorry, but I know. It is a discussion that needs to be had, whether you start screaming Minority Report at me or not. It is a discussion that needs to be had, the reform of the police service. They're obviously not doing the job. It's obviously multi-tiered, and it needs to stop, in my opinion. And I can't see that happening unless we have reform. But what say you? We now have somebody in custody. Police must get on with the job, get to the bottom of exactly what happened, and so it would be difficult, really, to comment in detail, except to say this. If there are lessons we need to learn about how we handle such cases, there is definitely lessons that you need to learn. You just never do. How we handle the events leading up to such cases. Then we will learn those lessons and we will not hesitate to take action where necessary. The Prime Minister has held a meeting with security officials, police and senior ministers over the incident. Priti Patel said in a statement, "This evening we saw a senseless attack on people simply enjoying a Saturday evening with family and friends. My heart, prayers and thoughts are with all of those affected, as are ours, Priti, and to the people of Reading who will be deeply shocked and concerned by this terrible incident." Now this gentleman apparently, now this murderer, terrorist, apparently was a Libyan refugee. So there's one thing you can do, Priti, and that's to stop illegal immigration, is it not? I am in contact with the police and will ensure that they have the support they need. I would like to thank Thames Valley Police and Emergency Services for their response. The Prime Minister has held a meeting with security officials over the incident. It's fucking repeated itself. Now, what's my opinion on this one? I think it's absolutely disgusting that the police are coming out and saying be alert instead of doing the job and getting these people well before they can do this sort of thing. I mean, these people were just sat having a picnic apparently, and he's just run over, screamed at them and started stabbing them in the neck. I mean, how much do we need to bear of this sort of crime before anything gets done about it? Because it doesn't seem like policing after the fact works, does it? Now, I'm not advocating we'd try and get thought police or anything like that, but we really do need to look at how we police these things, do we not? But anyway, I'd like to know your opinion on this. Neil Basu can piss off as far as I'm concerned. He's not a copper, he's a political pawn. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the like, comment, subscribe. Stay safe, everyone. In the words of this ignorant fool, be alert. I'll see you on the next one.